Not all that is gold glitters. Some gold is old and rusty, not the kind that you put in vaults at home. No, the gold I speak of are huge undertakings the average person wouldn't dare take on. This is what we call a project car. Pure gold when the project is finished, of course. These projects come in different shapes, sizes, and levels of difficulty. Some so difficult that you would rather push it into the garage and close the door, or send it out to the backfield under a car cover to be forgotten, promising to take a peek next year or maybe the year after that. The catalyst for us car guys to see the gold through the rust is a deep-seated memory, like driving in the backseat of your dad's classic car as a kid, or remembering a hit TV show that showcased it. Regardless of what it was, we hold onto that image, remembering it in its state of perfection, and search the classifieds trying to raise that old image to reality. The good projects start with a dream, imagining what the rig will look like brought back to life. You study magazine articles and photos to help you visualize the end, trying to define the legendary nicknames drivers assign to them. After the relentless search of advertisements, you talk yourself into going to see your future undertaking. A few pictures and an unreasonable price tag make you hesitate. But once the dream becomes too big, you tell yourself it's perfect. You look past all the rusted quarters, the lack of an interior, the drivetrain with cobwebs, and suddenly you count out your hard-saved vacation money and take the old girl home. But then you get home and you have no idea which rusty part to start with, which tools you need, and do you have the expertise necessary to pull this off? Weeks go by, months, years, and other hobbies nab your attention, and that rusted fantasy sits patiently waiting for you to return. Then one day, something big happens. You get the courage to dive headfirst into the project. The obsession of getting this old girl to breathe again triggers an emotion. Adrenaline sets in. Yup, the car guys call this moment the rabbit hole. And so, the story begins. A lucky break comes my way and rocks my encouragement to drag this heap out of its deep slumber and bring her to life.
So I'm killing two birds with one stone today, finishing up this tan truck. She's almost ready, everyone. But while I was sitting here, I figured, hey, why don't we try to get the 55 running? Slapped another carburetor I had on there and got an isolator plate. I had to modify that a little bit to get it to fit. I don't think that's the correct carburetor, but we're gonna see if this thing will fire over. Let's go. Woo! Nice. Just took the fuel filter off this. I'm pretty sure that color fuel is not what you want to be running through this thing. Let's throw that in the trash. So we had a couple successful runs on this old girl. You can tell the exhaust manifold is disconnected to the exhaust pipe, so it's pretty loud. A good viewer of mine gifted me this FJ40 carburetor. So the last carburetor I put on was kind of a knockoff brand, and it was flowing over into the carburetor all the gas, so probably the float was stuck. So we're gonna go ahead and put this one on. I was able to actually get the choke cable, which is here, to connect as it should for this truck. Since it is from an FJ40, they are similar. So we're gonna get some of these vacuum lines all plugged off and see if we can get her to go again. Gotta get the ignition out here. Perfect. Start again. Carburetor. Let's try one more time. I want to see if the accelerator pedal works. So I'm pretty happy with that for today. I set out to get this thing running today, and that was my goal, but I was unable to make her move. The clutch pedal has 0 resistance, so I'm thinking a slave and a master need to be the next things that need to go into this truck to see if she'll move. So that's what we're gonna work on. After that, she does turn over on a quick key, so that'll be the next thing. We've gotta make some orders for parts. Rock Auto came. Nice. Finally finished that Iron Pig now. So that is our new clutch master and slave cylinder for the FJ55, which just got here from Rock Auto this morning. As you saw last week, we did get it running. So this is the final piece to get her to move, as the clutch pedal is very soft. It actually doesn't hold any pressure. So let me show you that real quick before we dive in and try to get this thing to move. This bolt for the master, the clutch pedal is giving me a hard time. It is completely rusted in there. I guess that's what you get from a truck from 1973. So. Oh my God. Look, the pin's still stuck in there. It's still stuck. Unbelievable. Had to bend it open to pull it through the hole. It's exactly where that master cylinder belongs, in the trash. This is the piece that was fighting me. It holds the spring to spring back the actual pedal and has a cotter key that goes through there. Little bolts like this is what makes projects that maybe should take 15-30 minutes turn into an entire day of doing this stuff. But we are prevailing and moving on. Look at this brand new guy. Oh yeah. Does everybody know what these types of bolts are called? They're called Banjo Bolts. So this is a bolt that goes in the master cylinder. We have a brass washer here, and one that after the fitting goes on, which will go here, and another one goes there. It helps seal. A lot of times on the FJ55s, you'll see this for a fuel or a line that needs to be cut off. So let me show you where this one goes and where we're gonna put it on. It'll be going right in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you down and get that done. But just remember that you get the washers on either side so it seals against this fitting and prevents leaks. So the master's all installed. We're gonna move to the slave. So the slave is down here. It mounts to the bell housing usually. So I did try to bleed that. This is where you usually would bleed something like that. And no fluid was coming out. So these are two 14 millimeters, and it should come right off. We'll need to take care of that line as well. So let's get started. If I had to guess, and I was a betting man, I would guess that this cylinder right here was the reason that the clutch was not engaging. It looks like this stuff has seen better days. It's corroded all over the place. You know, the best place for your old used slave cylinders is the big blue filing cabinet. Let's go put her on. So the master and slave for the clutch are all installed. All we need to do is put fluid in it and bleed it. I did check that the clutch goes in and out from the bottom end. I used a breaker bar to move the actual clutch fork. So I know that it's loose. I don't know anything about this transmission or this drivetrain, so there's no promises that she'll move. I have no idea if there's fluid, no idea, none of that stuff. So we're gonna get this clutch pedal all bled, start her up, and see if she moves. Fluid. I got my pumping foot. Put it in there. Oh yeah, getting some clutch. Okay, you got it. All right, you can get ready to start this thing. See if she moves. I know the interior's a little rough, like really rough. Entirely too rough, but it will come back, I swear. You guys have some faith, okay? Let's go get a battery, see if she can move a little bit. Not moving. Great. So check this out. I have the coil disconnected and I have it in gear. I can't get it to run and move with the clutch, but I can get it to move a little bit on the starter. You can see it wants to move. It's leading me towards, has a bad clutch. Let's hope that's not it. Yes, she's moving. I figured it out. This pin right here is too long and it's keeping the clutch disengaged and not allowing the pressure plate to use the clutch. So you need to figure out how to make this smaller and then she should move. So let's do it. Yep, I'm back. I had to go dumpster diving because I needed the rod from the old slave cylinder to replace this new one. As you can see, they are a little bit different, actually very different. So I have a feeling that's the reason why this thing is not moving. So let's try to get this thing into the New slave. Great. Victory. She moved out of her hole. Nothing like a victory lap for my very favorite FJ50 project. This might take a while. So, if you like these videos, appreciate it if you could subscribe so you can stay up to date with this project, just in case it takes a year, or 2, or 10. Well, like and share these videos, okay?